Hi, this is Greg with Lionquestfitness. Before we talk about the concept of an always gun, let's talk a little bit about tactics. Now, today was Greg Newton training and working out some things that I can do or Mike could do in trying to work out some tactics for my own self. So it's nothing anyone should try to emulate, except maybe that, shooting at 12 yards and moving off to the flank. One good thing to do is to always have, especially with a 5-shot J-frame, always have one round, save that one round to cover yourself as you move to another location. All right, now we're going to be talking about an always gun. Now this is Smith & Wesson 642. It's an airweight. I've always been discouraged from buying an airweight. People have always told me they don't hold up. And yeah, the finish on these, they get worn very easily. But what I was told is that the frame didn't hold up to a lot of shooting. And I'm not sure that's the case anymore. This seems to be doing very well. It's accurate, more accurate than me. It's not that hard to load with a speed loader. In fact, it's a lot easier than some of my other J-frames. And it's light, it's concealable. It's something I can take anywhere that I need to go. There were 3 gentlemen that convinced me to invest in one of these. One was Gun Sam, another Mr. Holster, and then Point Blank, who subscribes to several of the channels that look at revolvers. He told me I could not go wrong with one of these. Now, as far as an always gun, let me give you an example. This past week I had to go to Atlanta 6 different times. It's a 250-mile round trip and demolition derby in downtown Atlanta. As far as the driving, I'm a country boy. I'm not big city. I can adapt, but I don't like it. And I had to go for business in various government buildings, that had metal detectors, and I needed something that I could easily take out of my pocket, secure in a locked dash or locked compartment, and then go about my business and not have to worry about taking a holster off or a big gun that somebody might see me remove from my body, things like that. And this fit the bill very well. Now the other thing, Atlanta's not exactly, it's a wonderful city, but it's known for the occasional crime, I guess would be a nice way to say about it. And this is not necessarily ideal for what I would carry in Atlanta, but here's the thing, I'm out of state, I'm in a different state, I'm in a big city. Should God forbid I have to defend myself, I want to defend myself with a weapon that looks like a defensive weapon, that is a defensive weapon. And let me explain that concept. I've corresponded in the past with a training officer down in Georgia, and he said, Greg, you need to emphasize the difference between a defensive firearm and an offensive firearm like this Model 10. And of course, in this day and time, we don't look at this so much as an offensive firearm, but you have to think about it. There's a big difference in a potential juror's eyes. Which one are they going to look at as being more aggressive? This gun right here or this gun right here? Now, I have a friend who is an expert witness and who testifies in a lot of shooting, use of force cases. And he always tells me, he said, Greg, you need to get a Jurys Sympathy. Now, a lot of people think I'm stupid for worrying about the aftermath, But you got to remember, you prepare beforehand, you train, then there is that situation that may occur. Then you have that legal aftermath. And I owe it to my family to prepare for each step of that journey. And as my friend says, it's not about right or wrong. It's not about what's legal and what's not legal. He said it's about how well an attorney can convince a jury as to whether you're wrong or whether you're right. And that's why it's important to appear not to be an aggressor, all right, if that makes sense. So this is a defensive firearm, single stack auto, defensive firearm, M&P Shield, very much defensive firearm. There's others I can name. All right, now when you start running into your higher capacity, your full-size autos, your full-size revolvers, okay, that's going to look more offensive. And these are things you need to think about. All right, now here's the point. If this is a anywhere gun that's going to go with you anywhere and any time, that's easily concealable, you need to train with it. So I'm gonna, especially this time of year, I've definitely been carrying this gun a lot, and I'm going to be working very hard to train with it to get better with it. All right, but I'm going to show you another firearm I've purchased recently. And Uncle Dan, do not have a heart attack. Hold yourself, buckaroo. Obviously, it's Smith & Wesson. And it's funny, no matter how much I plan to buy an FN, a Ruger, or a Glock, it always seems that Smith & Wesson semi-autos and revolvers just tend to fall in my lap, with deals that I can't pass up. So this very well-made handgun is a Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm, 17 rounds. Now, what, pray tell, are you doing with that gun, Greg? Well, I like semi-autos. I even like polymer pistols. I just don't like them for concealed carry. But they serve a niche. This is, in different times, this might be a carry, might be an open carry. But this is something that, whereas I do not like keeping a firearm in any of my vehicles, this could be something that I could conceal in my trunk and keep locked in a trunk. Maybe that if push came to shove where I needed more firepower, this would be something that would be accessible to me. That's just a thought. Carry that anywhere gun and have this in reserve. Maybe, maybe not. So this is Greg with Lionquestfitness, reminding you that the gun you have on you when you need one, if you ever do need one, is better than the gun you left back at home.